Have you ever thought about using your website after you're gone? I'm not talking about when pastor retires or pastor resigns or pastor passes away, God forbid. But what happens if we are raptured away? Now, this is not a video on the rapture, post-millennialism. That is for other YouTube channels. But if you do believe that there will be a rapture and all the Christians are going away, who is going to be around to continue preaching and teaching so that more people can be saved? Now, again, I'm not a Revelations expert, but if you do believe that everyone is going to be raptured up, how is what's happening going to get out and be spread? My friend and former partner, Dave Curley, recorded this video 7 years ago, and he had a crazy, interesting take that I never thought about, and it still keeps me up at night. I want to share that with you now.
I'm thinking much farther out into the future. Could be a year, could be 10 years, could be 100 years. I don't know. But what I'm thinking is that if the church and the Holy Spirit have been pulled out of earth, there's nothing for people here. There's nothing. There's going to be 2 witnesses, we know, and there's going to be 144,000 new Christians that are going to go around and minister. So let's leave a resource. As long as that website is still there, hopefully it'll be there, for a while at least, people can come to your website and learn and get some biblical instruction. New Christians will be able to come and get some new instruction. Now, that's future thinking on here, but I think that's something that we should do, is provide an archive, provide a resource for people that may have never heard about Christ, and all of a sudden there's no one really around for them to talk to.
Your website being a resource could look like a lot of things. We talk about having an archive of our sermons for people to watch if they weren't able to come. If you're taking it a step further, you're pulling out clips or creating a blog library of common questions that you're addressing from the pulpit. And eventually it can come to the point where if we are raptured away, your website could stay. For some churches, your website could stay for months, for years, depending on how you structure the payment of your website. Their website is going to stay for a while. And what better way to utilize your website as a resource, as a place for answers? When the Spirit is working with people and they're looking for answers, they could find your church. And so think about this as you structure your website. People are not just looking for sermons on fear or anxiety, and they're not just looking for sermons I missed 2 weeks ago. They're looking for answers to questions. The question is, does your website address those questions? And a great example of this is North Coast Church. Now, I don't know anyone that goes to this church, but I found them online searching for answers. And they have a very media-heavy environment. I really appreciate everything that they're doing. But let's take a look at their sermon archive page. We can look not only for sermons from the last few weeks, according to series, sermons by certain speakers they have, or books that they've provided, but look at the topics here. So as I'm looking for questions, or maybe I'm looking at a church and I'm like, well, what do they teach about generosity? What am I going to expect them to ask about loving others? I really enjoy this. And speaking of what Dave was talking about, end times, we've actually got sermons here about what to expect or what's going to happen in the end times. So I love this. I don't know any of the technology they're running on the back end, but I really, really enjoy this. It's something that I strive to really push with our clients. Let's make your sermon archive a resource, not just for the people for today, but also for the people that are left behind. And if you don't want to get left behind, hit the like and subscribe button where you can get more tips, resources, and let's make your online presence a pathway to discipleship. Not just hype up the church. Let's use your website to start discipleship relationships and get people hearing the gospel. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.